Today, I'm gonna answer the internet's biggest editing question. What is the best editing software? I've edited using well over 20 different softwares now, ranging from amazing all the way to basically unusable. So instead of going over every niche software again, I'm gonna focus on the very best of the best. The 4 biggest software currently on the market: Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, CapCut, and Final Cut Pro. To help pick a winner, I've curated a list of 9 specific categories designed to help us decide the best editing software. I'm then gonna award the winner of each category 4 points. Second place 3, third place 2, and the loser gets just 1.
Oh, well, better luck next year.
And by the end, we'll have a decisive champion of the editing world.
And before you start pinging me from your toilet with messages like, where's Filmora and where's Avid Media Composer? How does he know? Just shut your mouth. I'm here to tell you the best softwares for beginner YouTubers and people who are starting to take editing seriously within the YouTube realm.
Before we start, I want to give you a little background and context for the competitors in the arena today. Final Cut is the most unique software I'm going to talk about today because it's limited just to one operating system, Mac OS, which means that you can't use it without an Apple computer. This makes it the go-to for many Mac users, especially as it has a sleek design similar to other Apple products, which are known to prioritize ease of use and functionality over complexity. Plus, Final Cut Pro works incredibly smoothly with Apple's silicon hardware. Opening Final Cut, you've got the timeline, which is best known for its magnetic snapping, where it keeps all of your clips snapped together. Plus, there's the advanced color grading space, and an area for 3D text. Oh, and it's also one of the oldest editing softwares I'm going to be talking about today, having first launched in 1999, making this almost as old as me. Premiere is the software that I'm best known for using, but it's a complex beast with a rigid timeline and hundreds of effects that require a whole lot of meddling with to get right. But that's where it shines. Every effect is hugely customizable, with Premiere giving you the ability to incrementally change the smallest of settings on a frame-by-frame basis. Better yet, since Adobe launched Premiere back in 1991, with the Pro being added to the name in 2003, there have been plenty of changes to make it more user-friendly. The different workspaces have been streamlined, and now you can have this really simple yet really complex piece of software that's a part of Adobe's huge ecosystem, which also includes After Effects and Photoshop. CapCut is by far the youngest software on this list, having only started life properly in 2019. It was made with the needs of modern video editors in mind, aka for people looking to cut up footage for quick TikTok videos. In fact, its developers are ByteDance, who created TikTok in the first place. However, like how TikToks have become more advanced, so has CapCut, which has gone from being a mobile-only software to having a substantial desktop app. The timeline is pretty colorful, but where CapCut stands out is in its pre-made effects and even sound effects. This really is meant to be a super user-friendly software that's been made with social media editors in mind. DaVinci Resolve is without doubt the fastest growing software among more advanced editors, and it stands out from other softwares we're talking about today because it's the only one that uses nodes, which are effects you string together like building blocks to create even more complex effects. This all happens on what DaVinci calls the Fusion page, which is, in my humble opinion, the scariest workspace of all of these softwares, and can be especially confusing for new users. However, after camera maker Blackmagic Design took over DaVinci in 2009, huge waves have been made to make the software a great match for everyday editors. And there are now 2 options, the free DaVinci Resolve or the paid for DaVinci Resolve Studio, both of which my fellow editors are using more and more. So now we're all caught up, let's get into the first category.
Now this category is awfully subjective, and it's gonna be really hard for me to pick one that's the easiest to use out of all the rest. Because the truth is, most of us start off with the software, something cracked or some free trial, and then we move on to the software that we're gonna use for the next 10 years. And that becomes the easiest to use for each and every one of us. So really in this category, I have to draw from my own experiences because I've used all of these softwares, not only for videos, but also for my own use. And I think I genuinely have a grasp on which one is the easiest to use objectively. In first place, I'm putting Final Cut Pro. There is a reason for this. It is the simplest editing software amongst the 4 of them. There's so little to go wrong that you're gonna find it easy no matter what level you're at. If you're just a beginner starting out, or if you're a pro, it's just gonna be a piece of cake. So hence why it has to take #1 spot. Second, I'm putting Premiere Pro. Now this is basically the industry standard. Premiere Pro has so many resources online and it's been tried and tested over hundreds and thousands of years. And literally it's so easy to use at this point. I'd say that Premiere is easy to learn, but hard to master. Third place, I'm putting CapCut. There is a lot going on with it. I mean, you just go into that software and it's like, and that's why it's not higher up on this list. It's a very lazy use kind of edit. Like if I needed to slap together an edit and I had CapCut in front of me, I would be able to do that. Last place, I'm putting DaVinci Resolve. And this is no shade on DaVinci. It is just hard to use. As a beginner starting out, DaVinci is just like getting lost in the back rooms. I remember the first time I used it, I pressed something to do with Premiere Pro, getting a similar layout, and then everything was different. It was just dangling that carrot in front of me, like, oh, you want easy work? You can't have it. It's not easy. Not to mention the various tabs in DaVinci that all do different things. It's great to have that, and I think it's actually a good thing. But as a beginner starting out, it's pretty intimidating. In opposition to Premiere Pro, DaVinci is hard to learn, but easy to master. I love keyframes. I think the softwares are starting to take this more seriously now. I've made so many videos on keyframes because they are probably the most important part of editing, at least when it comes to animations and visuals. I think the companies that are making these softwares are starting to clock onto this. I made a video where I edited on a bunch of free softwares. I made 2 videos in this series, and all of those were basically videos that utilized keyframes. And honestly, I managed to get such an appreciation for when softwares do keyframes right. So in my opinion, Premiere Pro is in first place with this because it's so easy to use. It's just so easy to grasp the keyframe handles and use them and play with them. It's that classic thing of being easy to learn and hard to master. You can get so much out of the keyframes and layering effects. Having multiple keyframe changes going on all at once. It's crazy. It does win this category, but not by much. DaVinci is in second place. Because it's got this new update which highlights keyframes as being a big change. I think that this software is going to overtake Premiere in the keyframe game very quickly. I just think it needs some more polishing, some more scrubbing up. And I'd say that if you're just starting out and you have DaVinci, then, you know, learn those keyframes and get used to them because they are going to be the best in the industry at some point very soon. CapCut is third. I like CapCut keyframes. They're absolutely fine. They're definitely not as easy to use as DaVinci and Premiere. Don't know how else to say it. It's third place. Sorry, CapCut fans. Fourth place is Final Cut Pro. They just don't care about keyframes. And the thing is, if you're using Final Cut Pro, you're probably not worried about keyframes too much. You can use them, they are there. They're the worst thing in the whole world, so don't use them in Final Cut. If you're a keyframe nerd and you know you're gonna use keyframes, go with DaVinci, go with Premiere, go with CapCut, just not Final Cut. So once again, this is yet another category that is very subjective. And once again, I'm gonna have to rely on my own opinion when it comes to deciding the order of the winners. And the winner is iMovie. I mean, you just cannot beat iMovie when it comes to the UI and user experience. The rounded edges
Yeah,
of
Finn, we didn't put iMovie in the selection
What?
for the best
Wait.
softwares, so I don't know why you're talking about it.
It's not?
No.
Oh, wait, fuck. I guess Final Cut?
Yeah, pick Final Cut. Yeah.
Yeah, Final Cut. I mean, it's basically the same thing. It's like pro iMovie. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I wish that all editing softwares would take a note from things like Final Cut and iMovie. I know that iMovie is a little bit of a joke, but honestly, it's a beautiful software. I mean, you gotta admire all of the artistry going on. It's just gorgeous. I think that since Premiere has updated their UI, they've gone with rounded edges on all of the clips and darkened some of the colors and made them more contrasty. I love it. I think it looks great. I think more changes like that are welcomed in the Premiere community. Guys at Adobe, if you're watching this, go full iMovie, please. For the love of God, please go full iMovie. Third place, DaVinci Resolve. It's still very close to Premiere. I think it's a totally different beast when it comes to UI and user experience. It's gonna be down to personal preference. I think it just looks a little bit messy. I quite like the utilitarian vibes of Premiere Pro, where it's just useful. Having those colors there, they mean different things and it's just useful. In DaVinci, it feels a lot fancier. It feels like someone's really trying with this to paint their artistic license all over it. And I think it's working, but in my personal opinion, I think that Premiere is better from a video editing point of view. In last place is CapCut, and it's absolutely no joke. CapCut is disgusting. It's disgusting. Why would you do this to your software? It's so full of shit. There are so many effects in CapCut. It's ridiculous. I cannot, like, it's so hard to just edit without getting a migraine in this software. Don't get me wrong, I love you, CapCut, but get the hell out of here with your UI. It's so messy. Now this category is important for all the people out there who are looking to make their videos extra fancy with a little bit of this. Let's just get straight into the ranking here. DaVinci Resolve. number one. The effects in DaVinci feel so purposeful. Every single effect in there feels just really smooth and uber polished. DaVinci and Blackmagic, they're like the Rockstar Games when it comes to effects. And it makes sense as a company because they're selling loads of cameras and loads of cool gear. They want people to have all the tools in the box to just make the most out of that. And they definitely do. There are so many cool effects in DaVinci. Honestly, if I could transfer DaVinci's effects and put it into Premiere, we'd have the perfect software. Plus you can install presets on that, which is a massive thumbs up, definitely first place. DaVinci Resolve presets are in the link below. Second place is CapCut. Now, I did just say that CapCut is extremely messy and there are loads of effects and maybe too many effects. Maybe too many, but the effects are good. And the thing is, if you're doing a lazy edit, then it's a really easy way just to like throw on very professional looking effects. It's spenny to do it, but the effects are good. And there are so many to choose from. I honestly, maybe too many. Third place is Premiere Pro. The effects are good. And the thing is, when you start layering these effects, and you start adding the keyframes that we were talking about earlier, then you start to make some really interesting stuff. But out the box, there just isn't the same amount of cool, immediately nice looking effects like there is in DaVinci or CapCut. Final Cut Pro, I mean, you're not even trying to compete in this area, are you?
You're mad at me.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Next category. It's worth saying that this category is not going to be decided on the history of the product. It's about where the product is right now. If this was based on the history, Premiere would be last place by 1,000 miles. Honestly, I've made so many videos making fun of Premiere for crashing, and those videos have done so well because it's literally happened to everyone on planet Earth who's used Premiere in the last 5 years. It was so unstable, which is why when I say that Premiere is the least buggy and gets first place in this category, you know that Adobe have stepped up their game. And I'm not coming at this as a fanboy. I'm coming at it from the point of view as someone who has edited their main channel videos on this software. In the last 3 months or 4 months, I haven't had one single crash. It's genuinely been ironed out by Adobe so heavily at this point. I think they've realized that there is so much money in the video editing space now, they've just decided to actually take it very seriously. Premiere Pro is first place, for sure. In second place, I'm putting DaVinci Resolve. Now, the only reason it's not above Premiere is just because there is a lot more to go wrong here. It's a lot more advanced in many ways, and therefore it's had a lot more bugs and issues, especially recently. When me and Jack were making the new DaVinci presets, we realized how many bugs and issues this software has, and we've actually been in touch with Blackmagic, the people who make DaVinci, to go through and sort out a lot of these bugs. And to be honest, they've been really respectful and really on it. I give them a thumbs up for being a good software, but also it's still second place because it's just not at the same level of polish that Premiere Pro is. Now, third and fourth could basically be the same on this one. Final Cut Pro and CapCut. They're on a very similar level to optimization and bugginess. The truth is, they just don't have nearly as much going on to warrant them being ahead of Premiere Pro. When it comes to just the amount of features that are well implemented, these two they just hang below in a big way. It's a new day and I've had to think a lot about this one. The category of sound design. Now, sound design is not typically something that any of these softwares specialize in or are particularly good at. I would say though, when it comes to the easiest to use and the one that has the most flexibility and versatility, it's Premiere for me. I feel like even though it's a very simple layout down in the audio section, there are so many options that you can change and get so many varying results from. The great thing about Premiere is that you can actually pair it with Adobe Audition, which is a whole separate app like After Effects, but for sound design. And you can get so many effects and so much tweaking done within that app. For example, this music sound effect that I've made. The same can be said for DaVinci, but I feel like its UI and its overall package on how it looks and feels to use just brings it a step down from Premiere for me personally. And then Final Cut is just so basic. It functions well, it's a nice experience to use, but it is incredibly basic and it doesn't have the same options that Premiere and DaVinci have. It's intended to be used with Logic Pro, which is a whole other app that you have to pay another £200 for. So if you want that audio experience that Premiere can give you and DaVinci can give you straight out the box, then you have to get a whole other app worth a whole lot more money. CapCut's audio capabilities are really fine, but it is just, compared to the other three, it's just not as well refined, it doesn't run as smoothly, and it doesn't have that same ease of use, all the whilst being incredibly basic. So that's why it's at the bottom of the list for me. What I'm talking about here is what is the best software straight out the box. You've paid for the software. This is the default package with no extras, no add-ons, no other softwares you have to download, just the software itself. DaVinci is everything all in one. You don't have to pay for any other softwares to use this app, and you're still gonna get the best version of this software. Once again, the effects in this software notch it up a few levels. It is just so professional. So even though I don't think it's the most polished software out of the bunch, I do think that it's the best package by a long way. Next, we have Premiere, which of course is better when it's paired with the rest of the Creative Cloud apps, like After Effects and like Adobe Audition. But by itself, it is still a killer package. You get so many effects that you can layer up and start creating some mental things just with simple changes. It also gives you the capability to create your own presets and build your own library over time, which can be so useful. I edit most of my videos just using Premiere. For rotoscoping, I use After Effects and stuff like that, but really you can get away with doing almost everything in Premiere. Next, we have CapCut. Now, if you're paying for CapCut Pro, then you're gonna get access to a whole suite of effects that are really cool. Still an absolute mess of a UI. It's just gonna be a little bit harder to use for someone just starting out on editing, but you do get a lot of effects and a lot of cool transitions. This is the best package you could probably get to do a lazy edit with. You don't need to know how many of these effects work. You just drag and drop it on, and that's kind of it. Things like TikTok edits, Instagram Reels, things that have automated captions. CapCut's gonna be good for that. Last place is Final Cut Pro, and I hope that you can see by now why that is. It is very basic. It's not a bad software, but as a default package, you're gonna be able to edit with it, and you're gonna be able to cut something together and export it, but you're not gonna have the same kind of freedom that you do with any of the other softwares, just because of its severe lack of effects and fun things to do. So as of recording this video, the prices are what we're gonna go over now. At the top of the list, in #1 spot, is DaVinci. Now, DaVinci is very popular and well known for having its free version, which is extremely usable for most use cases. But it's also got a studio version, which has all of these effects that I've been talking about, which are definitely worth the price, in my opinion. And the price of DaVinci Studio, which is the paid package, is £225. And that's a flat fee. You only pay it once, which, in this day and age, as someone who uses Premiere, it's a crazy, mind-blowing concept to me. It feels so old school. It's like Battlefield going back to its roots. DaVinci is like Battlefield 6, and everyone loves it. And the best part about it is that our presets work on the free version, baby. You could just pay for our presets. That could be your software. But you know what? When I said that I recommended DaVinci Studio, I take it back. I recommend my presets. That is the new DaVinci Studio. Next on the list is Final Cut Pro. I know that it's a basic software, but at least it's got a one-off payment associated with it. Now, I bought my Final Cut Pro on the App Store, which, as a buying experience, is pretty cool. I just bought this app on the App Store. It is, at the moment, £300. It is a lot. Just get DaVinci Resolve at that point. Just get DaVinci Studio. But as a package, as a one-off price that you pay, you're getting a software that's not gonna ask you to pay monthly. You've done the payment, it's done. And I respect that a lot these days. In third place is CapCut Pro. Now, CapCut obviously has a free version of their software. That comes with extremely limited effects, and it is extremely limited. And very limited export options as well. So this is not ideal if you're serious about editing. With the Pro version, it is $9.99 a month, or $89.99 a year. When you think about the value that you're getting out of the Pro package with CapCut, I think that it's not a terrible price. I don't think it's terrible. I'm still not a fan of subscription softwares, especially when you have DaVinci paving the way right now. Let's be honest, a lot of the editing community is going in favor of DaVinci and its payment tactics. It's just way better and feels way more considerate of the user base. So CapCut is in third place, not only because it has a free version, but because when compared to other subscription models on this list, you'll see what I mean. In fourth place is Premiere Pro, which as of right now, for the software alone, just Premiere Pro, not the rest of the Creative Cloud subscription, is £22 a month. Whilst I absolutely love the software and it is my number one homie, it's so expensive. That's just for Premiere alone. I pay for the Creative Cloud package as a whole. And Adobe they've disrespected a lot of people, especially recently. I think a lot of the editing community have soured on them. And you can see why. They are charging an obscene amount of money for a single software per month, but they can get away with it because it's the industry standard. And that's why it's in last place on this list, is because it is too much money for what it is per month. Just let me pay for the software outright. Please, save your company, Adobe. Do a one-off payment for these softwares. Everyone will love you. Just saying. Just saying. I'm joking. I'm not joking. So we're gonna have to put money aside for this next category because what this one is talking about is the versatility of using one project across multiple apps. What I'm talking about here is how Premiere Pro can link up Dynamic Link with After Effects, and you can use After Effects at the same time as using Premiere Pro, and it essentially will update your Premiere clip on the timeline to show what you've done in After Effects. Honestly, I use that a lot of the time, and I think it is one of the best features in Premiere Pro, is that ability to just seamlessly link the softwares together. The same goes for Adobe Audition with audio effects, as we talked about before. And then finally, you can export in Adobe Media Encoder, which is a way more stable way of exporting your video. It's an incredibly versatile piece of software that works with so many different apps under the same Adobe umbrella. And finally, I gotta mention Frame.io as well, because although you can upload any old file onto Frame.io, it actually has integrated notes within all of those apps. If you're working with a large team, it's so useful. For that reason, Premiere is #1 on this list, but it is closely followed by DaVinci Resolve, which is #2, which does have multiple user timeline access. You can share the files very easily and start working on them with your colleagues. You can share cloud folders with your colleagues. That means you can probably drop assets into those and they can use those same assets within the timeline again. When it comes to versatility, it is useful and it is versatile, but it's not at the same level as Premiere Pro and the rest of the Adobe suite is. Third place is CapCut. I'm mainly putting this here because it has a very versatile phone app I've used many times. I created a whole video using the CapCut phone app, and it was the paid version, but I managed to squeeze out what I thought at the time was a desktop quality video just using my iPhone.
Ride or die.
And that for me screams versatile. Still doesn't have access to the same kind of apps and the same kind of team sharing that the other two above it have, but it is a good software to use on multiple devices. In last place is Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro is not a very versatile software unless you want to pay another however much for Logic to do audio work. It does have versatility in the sense that it is a very Apple-heavy software, which means that you're going to get use from other Apple apps within the software. Although it can link up with Logic, I don't think that it's an incredibly versatile software, not in the same way as the other three. Hence why it's in last place. Here are the final results based on the scoring that I've been giving per category. So in fourth place, we have CapCut with 17 points. Then in third place, it's Final Cut Pro with 18 points. And then in second place, we have DaVinci Resolve with 27 points, which of course means in first place, we have Premiere Pro with a minuscule difference of 28 points. So each software trading blows with each other on two different levels here. I was kind of hoping that DaVinci would win because I feel like as a video, that would make people more happy. But I think that the score is right as of right now. I think the score will change in the coming years as DaVinci is given more time to be polished and more users to just give feedback with. Premiere Pro is the industry standard when it comes to YouTube editing and just more seasoned editors, full stop. I put out a tweet recently asking what softwares people were using, and I do generally have a very varied audience when it comes to the different video editing softwares that people use. And by a long way, it was dominated with people saying the Adobe Cloud apps. Once you're in their ecosystem, it's hard to get out. When it comes to the support from the software, it has just gotten so much better. It's the most polished out of all of them by a long way. I haven't had Premiere crash on me for a long time. It's been pretty tragic not being able to make that joke in my videos about the software crashing, and that says a lot. So I'm not upset that Premiere won by 1 point, but I'm sad for the DaVinci users out there who wanted DaVinci to be top because it is so close, and spiritually speaking, I think that it's the better software. CapCut, get better. Final Cut, don't change, I don't care. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked the video, then drop a like, subscribe. Now get out of here. Get out of here. I missed saying it in the last video, so I'm gonna give you another one. Get out of here. Get out. Get out of here.